but from 2014 up until 2019, I did not produce any of my own work because of fear. Hey guys, this is Jess. Welcome to Pray Go and Shit. So today I just wanted to talk to somebody who feels like giving up, and somebody who feels unqualified to do the thing that they've been called to do. I know right now is a crazy time just in this world, in general, of course, with coronavirus and the different things. It's a very traumatic time right now, but I also still believe that God is present and God is moving and that God still speaks to people. And I know there's people who have certain things on their heart to do, or even before all of this happened, God gave you a vision of something that you should be doing. God gave you a knowing, just a feeling that you just, I got to do something. I got to do this, or I got to start this, or I got to write this, or do whatever. Maybe you were already doing it, but now you just don't, you want to give up because it's not yielding what you thought it would yield. It's not producing what you thought it would produce. Or you're like me and you feel unqualified to do some of the stuff. Even I started Pray Go and Shit and it's been going strong, but there's another project that I've been working on for months and called The Word, and it's more geared towards ministry, and I feel very unqualified to do it. One, because I always said I would never. My parents are pastors. They became pastors when I was maybe in my teenage years, but I was always, we were always taught about God and all of that. But I always said, me and my brothers and sisters literally joke about it, like, nah, I ain't about to be, oh, you gonna be a pastor, you gonna do this and blah, 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 you gonna be a ministry type stuff, and I was always like, I'll never be that person. I don't even like church. I never liked church, quite frankly. There's a lot of stuff. But I built this whole website. I started videos. There's animation points to stuff, all types of stuff. And then I stopped because I felt very unqualified to do it. When I only started it because I felt like God called me to do it. Because there's no way in hell that I would be talking about, doing any type of ministry at all. Even Pray Go and Shit is very awkward for me. Like I said, I felt like God put it on my heart to do it. And the only reason I overcome myself to do these things is because a long time ago, I prayed a stupid prayer that said, Lord, use me. And if you call me or if you send me somewhere, I will go. That was the dumbest thing I've ever prayed in my life. Because since then, he's put me in very strange, irritating, uncomfortable positions where I felt like the Lord sent me to do something, or sent me to say something, or sent me to just hug somebody, or sent me to, very simple things, but very uncomfortable things. And ultimately they worked out and God moved and it was crazy. But in that moment before I saw all of that, it was a very frustrating, uncomfortable position. And now he keeps pushing me to be more uncomfortable because I'm not a I want to be known type of person. I'm a very private person. I'm a very just laid back, private, I mind my business and it blesses me kind of person. I don't like being in front of the camera at all. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But I felt he was pushing me, and he used my husband to help me realize that too, because he started telling me like, no, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Too, or whatever, and encouraging me to do these things that I know God was telling me to do, but I was kind of like, nah, I'm straight. Because I'm not this person. I'm really not. I'm not. But God can trust me to know that if he tells me to do something, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it even if I'm uncomfortable. I'm going to do it even if I'm afraid. Every time I post a video, I'm afraid. Every time I post a video, I'm anxious. Every time I post a blog, whatever, anytime I push publish or share or whatever, even with memes sometimes, quite frankly, memes. I wrote a book, I wrote a whole devotional. I just did a singing video the other day. Like, these are things. It's not who I thought I would be. But I'm saying all this to say, God knows who I am. And he's putting me in these positions because that's who he's called me to be. Regardless what idea or identity I placed on myself, he knows who I am. And he knows who you are. And you can't be afraid to walk that out. You can be afraid, but you still got to walk it out. Don't give up on what you're doing. You're not unqualified to do what he called you to do. I feel very unqualified most days. I went to school for this. I went to school for digital media. I've worked on film sets. I've worked on TV sets. And yet and still, there was a period of time where I stopped filming. I stopped doing all of these things because I felt very unqualified to do them. I was afraid to touch a camera for years. But from 2014 up until 2019, I did not produce any of my own work because of fear. That's insane. But with Prego and shit, I felt his call on it. So this is why I pushed past my insecurities and I pushed past my anxiety to produce these videos, regardless if I get any validation from anyone, quite frankly, because there are times where I thought certain people would rock with it, but they don't. I get more love from people I don't really know than people I do know, quite frankly, in certain ways. Or people will watch your stuff, but they won't like it or comment on it or anything. Like, those people is like, I know you watching though, but they like watch it from afar and kind of just like, no, but I ain't gonna validate it and all of that stuff. And I used to be scared about that too, because I'm like, well, what if nobody likes it and blah, blah, blah. But if nobody likes it, I'm still gonna do what God told me to do. Even though sometimes I do get down, even though sometimes I do feel frustrated. I've been kicked out of certain groups for sharing videos. People take down my videos and certain stuff. People just like my videos or do whatever, and talk they shit. But but either way, God still called me to do it. So sharing all this again to say that if you are in that predicament, or if you feel unqualified, if you feel discouraged, if you feel anxious, if you feel insecure about what God is calling you to do and you don't see the result that you thought you would see, and it's something that you never thought you would be, do it anyway, because he knows his plans for you. We can plan out what we think we are. We can plan out who we think we are and what we think we should be doing in certain seasons of our lives, but God knows who he made us to be. But we just have to keep overcoming ourselves to do that. And if you're in that predicament, then I ask you to overcome yourself, because I'm overcoming myself right now by filming this. I'm overcoming myself every day. Quite frankly, I didn't think my version of myself was I was just going to be this badass movie making CEO, super enigmatic kind of, person who directs movies and works on films and stuff, but nobody really knows her, ever sees her really, and I can travel around the world, and I'm probably just single. I'm that rich auntie who come and just lavish my nieces and nephews and all that, but I was probably just gonna be single and chilling and whatever. Turns out I'm a mom to not one but two. I have children, child. I have a baby on the way. I have children and a husband and a business and a ministry. Nigga, what? Like, what? And I feel very unqualified to be a wife some days. I feel very unqualified to be a mom some days. But then everybody tells me my husband tells me how great of a wife I am. My people around me who see me parenting, they tell me how great of a mom I am and how this and that, and I'm like, what are you talking? Like, I feel like shit. I feel like I'm not doing anything. I feel like I'm not doing enough. But God knew who I was, and he blessed me, and he put me in this position, and he trusted me in this position. So understand that if God gave you something, then trust that he knows who you are. And I had to get confirmation about that again today, you know, because I was fearful. But I'm coming on to tell you, as I'm overcoming myself, that you can overcome yourself too. So I love you guys. I love you. Stay strong. You got this. And God got you.
I had a dream. I was at the Grammy sipping champagne with the team. I've been working way too hard, I had to intervene. All them sacrifices, I knew one day I'd see green. All these wins on my side, girl, I know it's not your scene. I was at the Grammy sipping champagne with